get back to where we were, to have the economy rage and be great with jobs and everybody be happy. And that's where we're going, and that's where we're heading.
And who is our biggest foreign adversary?
We had the best stock market price ever, and we're getting close to that price again. The unemployment numbers for African Americans, for Asian Americans, for Hispanic Americans, virtually every number was the best.
Why do you want this job? Why do you want to be president again?
Because we've done a great job, and it's not finished yet. And when I finish, this country will be in a position like it hasn't been maybe ever.
Ever notice how Trump handles reporters like a comedian deals with hecklers? When Jim Acosta tried to corner him at a press conference, Trump hit him with, "I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN." The room went silent. That's just one of the savage comebacks we've compiled in this video, from flipping accusations of racism back on reporters to shutting down Leslie Stahl with perfect timing. These moments show why, love him or hate him, Trump knows how to command a room. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. When Leslie Stahl sat down with Donald Trump for their now infamous 60 Minutes interview, she thought she'd set the tone with a simple opener. Are you ready for some tough questions? Little did she know, she just handed Trump the perfect opportunity to flip the entire dynamic of their conversation. Trump, ever the showman, immediately recognized the trap. Instead of getting defensive or playing along, he countered with a response that completely changed the mood in the room. You're going to be fair? I'm going to be fair, but you don't ask Biden tough questions.
Prepared to talk about the many issues and questions facing the president. But in what has become an all too public dust-up,
The economy is already roaring back, and other people aren't going to bring it back. Certainly the person that we're dealing with is not going to bring it back. They're going to raise taxes. We had the best stock market price ever, and we're getting close to that price again. The unemployment numbers for African Americans, for Asian Americans, for Hispanic Americans, virtually every number was the best.
It was like watching a chess player who's 3 moves ahead. In just one sentence, Trump shifted from being the interviewed to becoming the interviewer, questioning Stahl's journalistic integrity and highlighting what he perceived as media bias. The temperature in the room dropped faster than a comedian's mic after a killer punchline. As the interview progressed, Stahl attempted to regain control by making a bold claim about Trump's relationship with the media. She asserted that Trump once told her he discredits the media so that when you say negative things about me, no one will believe you. It was a serious accusation aimed at painting Trump as calculated and manipulative, but Trump wasn't having it. Without missing a beat, he rejected her claim entirely. The way he handled it wasn't with anger or defensiveness, tactics that would have made him look weak. Instead, he simply denied it and moved on, refusing to give her accusation any more airtime than it deserved. When Stahl continued pushing, Trump delivered a masterclass in interview control. He calmly told her, "That's no way to talk," before dropping the ultimate shutdown. "I think we have enough of an interview here."
the conversation was cut short. It began politely, but ended regrettably contentiously.
And the other side was
You know that's not true.
It is totally true.
No.
It isn't. But President Trump did have an impressive string of economic accomplishments.
Get back to where we were, to have the economy rage and be great with jobs and everybody be happy. And that's where we're going, and that's where we're heading.
And who is our biggest foreign adversary?
Should never have happened.
4 years ago, you were behind in the polls, as you are now, and you pulled it out. But this time you have kind of a double migraine. You have unemployment claims going up.
Then he simply walked away. Game over. No dramatic storming out, no heated argument, just a clean exit that left Stahl with dead air. This pattern of verbal judo shows up repeatedly in Trump's interactions with the press. Reporters approach thinking they've crafted the perfect gotcha question, only to find themselves stammering as Trump completely reverses the dynamic. Take the instance when a reporter accused Trump of using racist language. Most politicians would have launched into a defensive explanation or panicked denial, not Trump. He immediately responded, "That's such a racist question," completely flipping the accusation back on the reporter. The reporter was left struggling to recover while Trump had already moved on.
It's really good. It's been.
Are you ready for some tough questions?
You're going to be fair.
I'm going to be fair.
Just be fair. I would say China. They're an adversary.
They're the
a
biggest.
competitor. They're a foe in many ways, but they're an adversary. I think what happened was disgraceful.
But you're okay with some tough questions.
No, I'm not.
You're not okay with tough
I want him
questions.
to be fair. You don't ask Biden tough questions. So.
Let me ask you what you think the biggest domestic priority is for you right now.
Well,
What makes these exchanges so effective is that Trump borrows from the comedian's playbook for handling hecklers. Any stand-up comic knows that when someone tries to interrupt their set, you can't show weakness. You identify the attack, flip it back on the heckler, and then exit on a high note while the audience is still on your side. Traditional politicians tend to get flustered by aggressive questioning. They fumble through explanations, try to provide context, or worst of all, get defensive. These reactions signal weakness to viewers and give the reporter exactly what they want: a politician on the ropes. Trump instead treats hostile questions like a comedian handles a heckler. His responses are immediate, unexpected, and delivered with such confidence that there's simply no room for follow-up. By the time the reporter realizes what's happened, Trump has already seized control of the narrative and moved on.
Why do you want this job? Why do you want to be president again?
because we've done a great job and it's not finished yet. And when I finish, this country will be in a position like it hasn't been maybe ever.
Or next year.
Ultimately, I'll tell you, it was happening. We created the greatest economy in the history of our country. And what was happening is things were coming
Well,
together.
I asked you, what's the priority? I mean, those are all the good things.
The
What do you have to
priority now
solve?
is to get back to normal.
The genius of this approach is its simplicity. There's no elaborate explanation, no carefully crafted political non-answer. It's direct, unexpected, and effective. Trump doesn't play defense. He immediately goes on offense, a strategy that consistently leaves interviewers struggling to regain their footing. For viewers watching at home, these moments create a sense of satisfaction, seeing someone who refuses to play by the traditional rules of political discourse. Whether or not you agree with his politics, there's something undeniably compelling about watching someone completely dismantle what they perceive as an unfair attack. Love him or hate him, Trump's media strategy works because Americans increasingly don't trust journalists anyway. Recent polling shows only 36% of Americans believe media reports news accurately and fairly. That's why when Trump flips questions back on reporters, millions of viewers at home are nodding along. His refusal to play by traditional media rules speaks directly to people who feel mainstream outlets don't represent their views. When reporters try cornering him with loaded questions, his immediate pushback resonates with anyone who's ever felt misrepresented or attacked unfairly. Trump's approach creates an instant connection with his supporters that other politicians rarely achieve. While his critics see rudeness, his fans see someone finally standing up to a media establishment they stopped trusting long ago. That's the real secret to why his comebacks land so effectively. He's validating what his audience already believes.